Well, good afternoon to you, gents. I'm Phil Calland. I'm very pleased to meet you two guys from Make It Workshop. Would you like to introduce yourselves, please?
Well, my name is Bob Jenkins.
Hi, Bob. And what do you do here?
What do I do here? Well, I'm the founder. Ray here was my co-buddy. He started with more or less the same time as I did.
Okay.
Well, my job, I think, is just to make sure that things are going smoothly.
Okay.
Just always, though.
Well, that's in any organisation, isn't it?
Yeah. And so, my speciality is sewing machines.
Is it?
Yeah. I mean,
that's interesting for a bloke, isn't it?
What?
That's interesting from a bloke's
perspective. I don't mean sewing.
No.
I mean actual
the machinery.
Repairing them, distributing them. I had quite a big business.
Did you?
Distributing sewing machines.
Okay.
And people working for me, repairing them.
Oh, great.
And,
so why did you get that interest then?
Where did I get it?
Why did you get that interest?
Why?
Initially, yeah.
It just happened. It was during the war.
All right. And everyone was sewing, of course. Everyone was sewing, of course.
Well, not everyone. Some people are fighting.
True.
I started when I was 14.
Did you?
In a factory.
God.
They were making uniforms and that for the troops.
God, yeah.
And
were you supplying that in the war?
Was I supplying it?
Yeah.
I was a mechanic.
Yeah, right. Okay.
At the age of 14.
Dear mate. We've had it easy today, haven't we?
Oh God, yeah. But it just happened. That job was available and I took it, and I've been in it ever since. Eventually started my own business.
Okay. And so in this Make It Workshop, obviously you'll see a lot of machinery here, which we'll show later. It's a key differentiator for you, isn't it? And that's your expertise. My expertise is sewing machines. Excellent. Excellent.
And we get quite a lot of sewing machines in. We refurbish them. Those we can, or which they need, we send to places in Africa, projects in Africa.
Oh, isn't that fantastic?
Along with tools.
Yeah, yeah.
Which we refurbish. And
you do that with another organisation, is that correct?
It's called, yes, there's two organisations involved actually.
Tools for Self-Reliance.
Oh, I like it. I like it. Okay. Yeah. Tools for Self-Reliance. Okay. So we'll put the website up there. And what's the other one?
The other one is Work Aid.
Okay.
And they do similar things. They collect tools from groups.
Okay.
And sewing machine, knitting machines.
So the cost for you getting in a free machine, I presume, from the public?
We get donated machines, yeah.
And then you refurb them?
We refurbish them.
So it costs you money?
Yeah.
And your time, which is money.
That's correct.
But then you give it, do you, to these organisations?
Yes. Now, not all of them, because they only want certain machines.
Okay.
Some of them are very modern ones and no good. Some very old ones and no good.
There's a certain standard. So the others that we sell locally,
we can sell to generate funds.
Absolutely.
For our organisation.
So your costs are covered. You can generate profits to go back to the community here in Southport. Great. Well, I'd like to go to Ray and know the name Ray much. I know you've worked at the BBC, you've worked at Alliance and Leicester, and Littlewood, so you've had a checkered career. Yeah, so what do you do for Make It Workshop?
Yeah, Make It Workshop, I suppose I am managing director.
Really cool. The go-to man.
Yeah, we have two directors, and I do the management role, and Bob does he does a lot of the administration, but it's basically making sure that the ship keeps sailing. Good. On the subject of which, before I joined the BBC, I was in the Merchant Navy. Oh, so I spent my early working life, if you like, in the Merchant Navy. I was a radio officer.
Oh, brilliant.
So I've always been involved with technology.
Yeah, yeah.
But I evolved, if you like, into project management quite early on once I joined the BBC.
Okay.
And so my career then continued for about 30 years in project management.
Brilliant.
And I sort of semi-retired in 2010, basically because I wanted to go off and do something different. I didn't know what that different was going to be until in February of last year, so that would have been 2012, I stumbled across this article in the local newspaper, The Visitor, that Bob had written, asking if anyone was interested in getting involved in setting up, at that time, purely a workshop that would be refurbishing tools to send through TFSR who had approached Bob, because he'd had dealings with him in the past, to set up this workshop, to supply them with tools, amongst many other groups. They have about 50 groups around the country.
Right,
so our original intention was to be what we thought would be part of a charity, to be acting on as part of a charity.
Just as a workshop.
Yeah, just to set up a workshop.
Okay.
What we found out subsequent to that was that TFSR don't have any legal connection with their groups. The groups are autonomous groups of people. It could be 1, 2, 3, 6 people working out of boiler rooms, church basements, you name it, providing them with tools, but no legal connection with the charity.
Okay.
Now, it just was fortuitous, if you like, and I say that because of what we've achieved, that we went along in May of last year to an open day with Tools for Self-Reliance, and it just happened to be on the premises of Excel, EXSEL, a CIC, Community Interest Company, based in Skelmersdale.
Okay.
And it was from there that we've grown into what we are now.
Okay.
I mean, my interest is project management, so I tend to think of this as a project, to be honest.
Each new strand of what you do and your growth will need project managing, won't it?
Absolutely.
You move from your old premises to this fantastic premises, needed project managing, didn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, as far as my contribution to what we're doing and the uniqueness of us, I would say the vintage phones is probably the thing that I'm bringing in. That has come from a loose hobby of mine. I was never a collector. I first stumbled across old Bakelite retro phone, not retro, they were retro then back in the 80s, rather than vintage, whereas now they're getting to be antiques. That was through the BBC. But in a way I've developed that idea, and in a way it's typical of the way I think we're going to grow. It's going to grow through the ideas or the skills or the experience base and the wisdom that comes out of having a knowledge of something and then pursuing it. Bob has that with the sewing machines, I have that with the phones, but they're only two things of what.
And then your son is involved with the bikes.
My son is involved with the bikes, which at the moment we have slowed down slightly, simply because of premises issues. Okay. Because you need space to do these things.
And that's Susbike with Peter Owen, isn't it?
That's it, yeah. Okay. So Susbike is reclaiming bikes that people don't want anymore, that they've either left out in the garage forever, they just get fed up with them and then literally give them away, rather than throw them away, which has got to be good. You know, the machine, some of the machines you get, okay, you can't do anything with them, but some of them you can.